Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Kearns. We have the camera pushed out 136 feet to the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and see what we find. We're at 4360 west, 5375 south. Fairly average length of a sewer line. Average length that I see is about 100 feet, maybe a little more from the roof. In Kearns, the sewer lines tend to go out the back of the house. I don't know why they did that, but that's real common here. The first connection point is called the nose line. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. It looks like a good connection there. You're going to notice a little bit of running water. Running water is okay. What you don't want to see is any standing water where it covers my camera head. And we are going to go through a little bit of that, and so I'll talk about it when we get there. It does look like this line has been replaced, but it looks like at the very end you might still have some cast iron. I'm trying to get a better view of it. It could be cast iron, it could be concrete. What it doesn't look like, and what I'm really trying to look for in this area, is any Orangeburg. Kearns is one of the few areas that use this type of pipe called Orangeburg, and luckily most of those lines have been replaced at this point. The city had a program where they would come and do it for homeowners. Not everyone opted to do it. It was a little bit of a nuisance to have them digging in your yard and doing work, and so not everyone did it. But Orangeburg is one of the worst types of pipe you can have. It was like cardboard, and it would just collapse over time, and that's why they came up with that program. It does look like this house has no work done, though. Looks like the majority of the line is new. That last part looks like it's still that type of pipe. So far, I'm seeing good grade. Piece of waste on the line there. I might have loosened that waste and pushed it down a little bit, and so hopefully with some more running water that will work its way out. Looks like PVC pipe from what I can tell. Starting to bob in and out of it. So it is a little bit flat. Starting to get the water completely at this point and not coming out. That started at 70 feet. Going on 10 feet of being underwater, so I certainly need to call this a break. There. So all in, you're about 20 feet of standing water of some sort. First little bit I was bobbing in and out for 5 feet or so, and then I went completely underwater for another 15. And so that's a spot where it doesn't have the right grade, and so waste is more likely to settle there, and grease can settle and create a sticky spot. And as waste builds up, it can create a soft blockage where eventually it can back up towards the house. It's real unpredictable what bellies will cause a backup and which ones won't. That's certainly not the worst that I've seen, but it's also a lot more concerning than, 2 feet of standing water. When you're going on 20 feet, you're getting into that territory where people tend to eventually have an issue, especially if they're not careful. When you have a belly like that, you want to avoid putting wet wipes down the line. Even if it says they're flushable wipes, those can get infected. couldn't get my camera to go through the first turn. So it's not going to do much good because it makes a 90. So just like my camera can't get through, I think sewer tools are going to have a difficult time getting through as well. It's starting to go underwater again. To that, you'd have to open up the space in the basement, which is going to really add to I would recommend talking to a drain company and getting their opinion and getting a cost to reslope that area, but to dig up a sewer line, even a short section, can be thousands of dollars, and so it's not an inexpensive thing. You could get insurance, and that way if it backs up they can come clean it, but as long as they can clean it, which with a belly you generally can get your camera through, it's not at risk of collapse necessarily. It's more of a risk of it backing up over and over. They will keep cleaning it. They won't proactively dig it up for you, and so the insurance is kind of helpful, but not in the long term. I'm going to end this recording now.